we told you from the beginning that Khamzat Chimaev would be a UFC champion, but we also told you that Khamzat Chimaev would win not one, not two, but three UFC titles. Now that's been complicated with him starting at middleweight because then he'd have to win the light heavyweight and then eventually the heavyweight, which is really a tall task. But if anyone can do it, it's Chimaev. Already he's calling out Alex Poatan Pereira, light heavyweight champ. And in fact, Hamza is claiming that he's running from him. Pereira is running from Khamzat Chimaev. He's going to fight once more at middleweight and then move up to light heavyweight. And if he can get that belt by 31, 32 years old, he's got plenty of time to win the third UFC title. Will he be the first one to do it? Well, it's a race against time because you got Islam, you got Pereira, right? You got guys that can do it. We're going to get into this topic as well as look back at UFC 323 from this past weekend and look ahead at the main event, Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape. Stay tuned. Coming back right after this.
Broadcasting live from an undisclosed location. This is the TCMMA Podcast with your host, Chris Cross.
Whoa!
Dana White privilege.
Let's go, baby! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, baby!
Dana White privilege. Privilege.
Welcome to the TCMMA Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Cross. A lot to talk about today. Khamzat Chimaev calling out, blasting Alex Pereira, the 205-pound champion. And there's a lot in this, right? You got UFC White House coming up. Everybody's trying to position themselves for a big fight there. Can Khamzat get the fight in quick enough? As he's saying, he's going to fight once more in the middleweight division, right? And then move up. Would he be able to get prepared in time for UFC White House? I don't know. With Ramadan in the middle there, if he could fight in like late March, I believe. Then you got April, May. Is that enough time to really beef up and get serious about Alex Pereira? I don't know. But this is the direction that Hamza is going. That's the big news, right? Maybe Pereira goes up to heavyweight. Maybe he wins that title. We don't know. Pereira's getting older. But Hamza, at 30 years old, maybe 31 now, he's right there, right in the middle of the prime right now, is saying what we all hoped he would say, and that's that, hey, I'm going up to 205 pounds. I mean, that's what it comes down to. That's what we want to see happen. And he still remains number one on the do list, right? Pereira number 4, but to Pereira and Makhachev there as well. So, and we got some things that change, right? With Merab and Pantoja both going down, the 5 and 7 fall. Joshua Van's got to be way up here somewhere. Piotr Jan, where do we put him? Probably in the top 20, not in the top 10, but he looked phenomenal this past weekend. More on that in a few, but the bottom line is, we always knew that Hamza, we believed that Hamza would win the title. A lot of you have followed us because of that. It finally came to fruition when he beat Dricus Du Plessis. And I said, as soon as you win that title, who cares? Be done with it. Move up to light heavyweight. Maybe, you don't do anything else by getting another middleweight title fight, right? It's not like it's going to change whether they make you go and fight someone in the light heavyweight first to get up to the title or not. So an extra fight in the middleweight division does nothing. I think Hamza's a guy that wants to start putting on some strength. He'll have no problem competing in the 205-pound division. And the fact that he has a takedown game in that type of division where it's all power, guys don't have, I mean, there's still grapplers, don't get me wrong, but, the lower divisions is where you really have guys that can match up and beat you. Okay. That's why Piotr Jan looked so good this past weekend, because he was able to defend those takedowns, which has stifled a guy like Merab. The takedown game is so important. But as you go up, it becomes more power. Okay. The takedown game is still present, but it's the power that starts to take over. And if Hamza can go up to light heavyweight with the grappling game too, and the added strength, I just don't see anyone on the planet competing with him at 205 pounds. So does Pereira really want some of that, an aging veteran, or is it just time for the big name fights? So what's he going to do? I mean, what's he going to do? Hamza saying him and his coach, Glover Teixeira, they say if they see me in a hotel or something, I don't need a hotel. You need to come to the UFC. And what Hamza is really talking about there, and this is a interview with ESPN, he's more or less saying you don't need to go to a hotel. It's not about the jokes and games. If you want to fight me, we can fight. Hamza is a guy that scares the heck out of me because of the way that he speaks. He's a lot like Islam and Topuria. Like the talking's fine and all that, but it's not really necessary. Like we know we're going to fight. Like a lot of times when you're talking trash, right? You don't know that there's necessarily going to be a fight. There's a chance there may not be a fight, so there's a lot of trash talking and hey, meet me over here, meet me over there, let's go. And something might happen, but oftentimes nothing happens. So what Hamza is saying, we don't even need to talk, bro. We could fight if you want. We don't need to talk. We can just fight, you know? But does Pereira really want that? Does Pereira really want to fight Khamzat Chimaev? I'm saying right now, no. I think he's got his sights set higher in terms of going up against a John Jones or someone like that, and they're going to position him for the UFC White House because whenever the UFC needs a big fight, they always call on Pereira. Okay, and you're going to get some other big names there as well. Will he actually fight John Jones? I don't know. But if Pereira goes up, he's not coming back down. So who knows if this fight will ever come to be. But Hamza also goes on to say it doesn't really matter who's there. Like I'm coming up for the belt. To paraphrase, I mean he's coming up regardless if it's Pereira, regardless of whoever is there. That's the bottom line. So we're going to continue talking about this topic throughout the show, but I did want to jump into this past weekend. I mean, it was a wild weekend. I mean, at the end of the night, we looked at the shorts we put out, and there was like 10 of them, which means there were 10 or 11 finishes in 14 fights. I mean, it was incredible. Just an incredible night. But this is the crazy reaction to Pantoja losing to Joshua Van, and we all know what happened now, but at the time, you couldn't believe what you were seeing. Check this out. Both guys come in. Here we go. Already they're getting after it, and a knee landed by Pantoja. So a quick start here. And a leg kick up high. Ooh, and Pantoja goes down. He's grabbing his left arm, and he's saying, that's it. Joshua Van just won the title. Oh, my goodness. Something happened to Pantoja's elbow 27 seconds into the fight. And he's kind of stunned because it's one of those things where, like, did you really win? But the bottom line is, yeah, you did. And then when he realized that, he doesn't want to win that way, though. You know? And Pantoja grabbed his elbow and said, no, 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 no. And man, the fight just started and it's over just like that. And Pantoja goes down on all knees. And Joshua Van's talking to him. Tatsuro Taira in the crowd can't believe it. Nobody wants to see a dominant champ go down that way. Let's see if we can figure out where this happened at. Okay, so he went down after getting his... Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. So he got the leg kick up high. Joshua Van caught it. And Pantoja was going down and braced his full body weight on his left hand. And that's going to stop the fight. And Joshua Van is the champ. I mean, crazy. And now all of a sudden, for Pantoja, you're going to be another year older next time. You're probably going to get a rematch, but it might take some time to recover from this. And we're getting all types of angles here, but man, Joshua Van is going to be the new flyweight champion of the world in a wild way. Unreal. Just can't believe it. Just when you're ready for a huge fight, it ends in an awkward way. And that'll do it here for the co-main event. It was a quick one. Joshua Van and new UFC flyweight champ here at UFC 323. Yeah, so I mean, it's just crazy. We're just kicking this thing off. Probably one of our best live streams in a long time, if not ever. Like the numbers are just going up. We're only a minute in. We're like, oh my God, this is going to be incredible. And then boom, 20, 30 seconds into the fight, it ends. And, we got to move on to the title fight at that point. But just some crazy, crazy stuff. Joshua Van is the new flyweight champ, and he's got to be in the top 10 of our due list for sure. Then you go up to the main event for the bantamweight title, and you're like, all right, we've already seen some wild stuff tonight. People are overlooking this fight. Is there any chance that Petr Yan can win? Like, is that even possible? Merab looking so good. Can he possibly take down Merab after losing the first fight? I don't think so. But then all of a sudden, 5 rounds later, it came to a decision, a close decision, in my opinion. This is how it played out. So after a tremendous fight between Merab and Petr Yan, as we await the decision in potentially a Hall of Fame type fight, here are the numbers. Yan fought unbelievably well, but he trailed in significant strikes 147 to 132. He trailed in head strikes 114 to 103. But Merab, 2 takedowns on 29 attempts. You heard that right. Petr Yan, 5 takedowns. 5 takedowns to 2 for Yan. He dumped Merab 2 or 3 times. Landed some big strikes in certain rounds. Right? So even though you look round by round and you see, okay, Petr Yan trailed in 3 of the 5 rounds, tied in 1, led in the other. They were close. You factor in those big strikes. This could go either way. And Bruce Buffer is going to give us a decision. Oh my goodness. This could be our first losing season ever. 49-46. 49-46. 48-47. Probably Merab. Oh my goodness. Oh. No! What? Oh my gosh. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody saw this coming, bro. Nobody. This fight was so overlooked. Petr Yan just shocked the world. I mean, Petr Yan just shocked the world. And the odds makers must have known he's getting picked up and run around the octagon by his coach. Unbelievable. He's going to move to 20-5, and he takes down Merab, who seemed unstoppable. Was on the verge of becoming fighter of the year. Now who gets it? Oh my gosh, Petr Yan is the new bantamweight champ. Fight of his life here at UFC 323. And almost any of us would have bet everything to say that there's no way that both Joshua Van and Petr Yan win. Maybe one of the two finds a way to win, but both of them win? At the end of the year in December, I'm trying to tell y'all, anything can happen. It's like this every year. I mean, anything can happen in that final fight. Big fight, right, for the titles at the end of the year. I mean, it's always just crazy. So another December does not let down. And then this week you got the final card of the year for 2025. It's been a tremendous year. It's been a phenomenal year for the channel. I mean, it's just been fun. We're in a solid groove right now. And, we're going to get a good 5 to 6 week break to even get more prepared for 2026. So it's going to be exciting. But this is the last card of the year, and we're just going to focus on the main event tonight. And that's Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape, a big flyweight fight. And when I did this, I was hoping that Merab would have won and we'd be 20-20 on the season, creating a big fight, but it didn't turn out that way. But either way, it's still a huge fight. I'm highly interested in it. This division is always rocking and rolling. Let's jump into this one right now. In the flyweight division at UFC Vegas 112, you got Brandon Royval taking on Manel Kape in the main event, the last main event of 2025. Now Royval 17-8 from America. Kape 21-7 from Portugal. Royval, 4 inches taller at 5'9". He's 33. Manel is 32. So both guys still in the prime window. Both guys equal reach at 68 inches. Both guys fight southpaw or left-handed. Now, in terms of activity, it's pretty close. 5.5 significant strikes per minute for Royval. Manel, 5.1. So they're both, you're looking at 5 to 7 significant strike difference throughout this fight, maybe 10. Takedown game really non-existent for both fighters. They're both strikers, want to keep the fight standing. Now Royval, 45% takedown defense. That might be something that Manel wants to look at. He did lose to Joshua Van in a great fight where he actually outstruck him 215 to 204, but suffered the loss by unanimous decision. And those numbers are just over 3 rounds. So we know Royval can be very active and match his opponent. He did beat Tatsuro Taira by split decision. Brandon Moreno, split decision. Those coming after the loss to Alexander Pantoja for the title, in which he actually outstruck him 111 to 95, but it was 8 takedowns to none. So Pantoja just dominated in that department. Now Starboy, aka Manel Kopp, 81% takedown defense. Beat Asu Almabayev, big win there, 3rd round KO. Beat Bruno Silva, 3rd round KO. He did lose to Muhammad Makayev by decision, giving up those 3 takedowns. And it's real simple for Manel. When he outstrikes his opponent, he wins. When he doesn't, he loses. Makayev is still perfect at 13-0. So that's his only loss over the last 7 fights. Before that, he lost to Matthias Nicolau in 2021, Pantoja 2021. He actually landed 2 takedowns to none, but got outstruck by him. So, boy, this is a very tough prediction, and it might all come down to this in terms of the overall year. As long as Merab wins the previous week, we're 20-20 going into the final fight of the year. We need this one, and we're going to lean towards Brandon Royval. And it's a difficult pick because I respect and I like Manel Kopp. I mean, the guy is for real. But I just can't go against Royval. He's taller by 4 inches. Everything else is very close, equal reach. Both guys, same stance. Royval slightly outpaces Manel. It's going to be very close in that department. But I think Royval just has more experience and knows how to win these fights, as we've seen in his resume. So I like Royval to win a very close fight by decision to move to 18-8, in my opinion. Flyweight division main event at UFC Vegas 112. Yeah, it's going to be a close fight, and I went with the safe pick thinking that this would be for all the marbles. And I'm starting to second guess myself now, right? I'm looking forward to getting to next year starting at 0-0, but there's going to be a lot of pressure because we're coming off our first losing season in like 6 or 7 years of doing this. So, it just shows how tough the fights are getting to predict. And I'm talking about the main event, not the overall. The overall record is what it's always been. The main event has been tougher and tougher. Really, over the last 18 months, I've seen a big difference. And this is one of those fights. It's so close. I'm in my head. I'm second guessing myself. But I do think Royval will get the victory. But I'm not lying when I say I like Manel. To me, Manel is a solid fighter. He's not to be overlooked or to be played with. And when he gets on a roll and he gets in his mind that he's going to win, he's pretty tough to beat. Now, there's been some fights where he doesn't look like his normal self. But when he does, he's capable of beating a Brandon Royval. So it really comes down to which Manel Kopp shows up and how good he looks, especially early in the first 2 minutes. It really is a telltale for him. But I think Royval is still going to find a way to pull this thing out. So we'll see what happens. Excited about the week ahead. This is your boy Chris Cross. Until next time, hope you have a great day and God bless. As always, peace.